Guys, I have a Howard Stern clip for you today. You know, if I would have said that 15 years ago.
Everyone's excited.
Oh, wow, a Howard Stern clip. What the fuck did Howard do? This will be, oh, man, this looks like it could be awesome. But now, 15 years later in 2022, I have a Howard Stern clip. And people go, oh, fuck. What did that old crotchety bastard say now? This made it to our cringe yesterday.
Oh, no.
And Machine Gun Kelly was on his show. And, dude, I swear to God, somewhere in an alternate universe, Howard Stern stayed cool. And he stayed awesome. And he was just a dirty old man. And he was still fucking on celebrities and shitting on people. And he hates this guy.
That's kind of what I thought.
Hates this guy.
Why would he have him on?
Could you imagine prime Howard Stern? Now, the title of this video, and I'm really worried this is going to get us clipped today, playing a Stern clip.
Okay.
But I'm going to play it. YouTube, fair use, commentary. We're going to make fun of this. We'll pause it a bunch to make sure we don't get popped. You know, that's another thing. People go, oh, why do people on YouTube pause their videos so much? If we don't provide ample amounts of commentary over this shit, we get our videos like limited in where they can be seen and demonetized and shit like that. I don't mind the demonetization part, but people not being able to see it.
Yeah,
I
limited
fucking hate
viewing,
that.
no.
And some places are more aggressive with the copyright claiming than others.
Yep.
So you got to try and even when you do all of that transformative content, sometimes they'll still pop you. But Howard Stern had Machine Gun Kelly on his show, which first of all, ugh.
Why?
Second of all, he talked to him about a time that Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox did ayahuasca at some retreat. And like to watch this Howard Stern and to think of the Howard Stern I grew up watching and listening to, I know that my Howard would smack the fucking shit out of this Howard and tell this dickhead to get out of his studio for being a cringy piece of shit.
You would have never been there, I don't think.
Let's watch Machine Gun Kelly on Howard Stern talking about his ayahuasca trip. Look, I'm sorry if anybody in this show right now likes Machine Gun Kelly. I feel it's my duty to show you this, to show you what you're liking. This guy is the biggest waste. Wasn't he?
He's a problem.
Wasn't he good friends with Mac Miller?
I think so.
The wrong one
Even
went.
If they weren't, they should have been. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know about all that.
The wrong one went.
Talent-wise, yes.
What, was Mac Miller a douchey guy too?
I would assume. I don't know. If
he
you
can't
think
be
they
this
should have been
bad.
friends, I'd assume they were.
He
both
can't be
douchey.
this bad. Let's watch Howard. And remember, Howard's pushing 70. I think he is 70.
Is he still in his home for this video?
We'll see. No, I think he's in studio for this one.
Megan went and did ayahuasca. That's a pretty fucking
Okay, so this is from late
experience.
March.
Was that something worth doing? Can you actually learn something about yourself?
There was this one lifetime. On the third night, I lived 3 lifetimes. The
Already a douche, but okay.
second lifetime that I lived in this trip on the third night was I was a panhandler on the street. I was a beggar, and
that actually wasn't a lifetime you lived. That was you gazing into your future.
That was just reality, man.
Yeah.
in my hand I had this crystal, and I kept offering it to people just as energy. I kept saying, like, you know, like, please take this good energy.
This is horrible.
Like, I want you to have it. And they couldn't see that it was a crystal. They just saw it as me with like a bowl asking for change.
Even his band is bored as shit.
There's only one thing worse than listening to people describe their dreams to you, and that's them describing their drug addiction trips.
Yes, I don't know if
Like,
it gets worse.
Dude, and I had a crystal, and it was deep, and you know what it meant? It meant you're a junkie. That's all it meant. There was no deeper meaning behind that.
I lived 3 lives that night.
Oh, did you? Were any of them more interesting
So
than this
deep.
one? Because I'll take that one.
Right.
But he is like the definition of vapid. And you know what hurts me the most about this? Is that it has
Howard
these.
Stern?
It has this name on. I don't want this name associated with this boring horse shit. The prime Howard would have started ripping this guy to shreds for oh God, I just had a moment now. You know what would have been great?
If Howard had just been, dude, why are you being so...
No.
Oh, okay.
If Artie Lang would have not tried to kill himself, not been hooked on heroin, and would still be on the show right now, and Artie Lang having to sit through 10 seconds of this, and then just going, dude, you're a fucking mess. And just start shitting on Machine Gun Kelly.
Because, he is a total mess, and he's sitting here trying to be deep about his drug trips.
There's nothing worse than the guy with 3 nose rings telling you how deep his ayahuasca trip is. Honestly, Machine Gun Kelly is a cockectomy away from being a single mom. I just...
like just begging. And I lived my whole life lonely and begging on the street. And I had in my hands love, but all they saw was a beggar.
Well, it makes perfect sense for you to.
Oh, fuck you,
Stop
Howard!
it.
God, this hurts so much. I don't know why I put myself through modern Howard Stern, but I hope it entertains the audience. That makes total sense. Well, you know this fucking fruitcake Howard now. He's in therapy every day.
Is he really?
He's been in therapy every day for years. And he claims it's helping a lot. Well, it ain't helping you be more entertaining. So now Howie heard this douchebag talk about his ayahuasca trip, and now he's going to validate this shit by telling him, oh, well, that makes total sense. Oh, guys, get ready for 2 douchebags.
This is starting to go back to what you said about Eminem. Like, you're way more entertaining when you're a mess.
Yes.
Stop going to therapy,
Both
please.
of these 2.
Yeah.
Both of these 2 more interesting when they're a mess.
I can't imagine like how he got a Megan Fox either.
A beggar.
Well, it makes perfect sense for you to have a vision like that. You had to beg your father for love. In a sense, you were looking for a mother. And in a way, as a little kid, you probably felt like, can't somebody give me something? I'm out here begging you.
Which one's going to start crying first?
Oh, God. When are they going to start scissoring?
Right? Sucking each other's dicks. Like,
No,
oh,
there's no dicks here. There's 2 pussies.
I feel like you really get me.
Machine Gun Kelly's bandmate is reading right now.
None of them care.
He's just looking at a phone or something, reading.
Dude, I bet they've all heard this story like individually from him 20 times.
Yeah, we get it, Kelly. Iowa. Oh, yeah, that sounds fucking crazy. Yeah, I got to do that.
I actually never interpreted that one. I always spent time on the other ones. That one I never thought about like that. It was almost like I was looking down on the world, being like, oh, how could you
Look
see
at that guy. He's
that
glazed
person
over.
like that and not see that he was offering love?
Machine Gun Kelly thinks so highly of himself that he interpreted his ayahuasca. You know, ayahuasca is supposed to put you more in touch with the world. I mean, it's bullshit, but it's supposed to put you more in touch with the world and see your more humble side. Even on ayahuasca, Machine Gun Kelly's like, I was looking down at the world and I was showing them something beautiful and they didn't appreciate it.
They didn't like what I had to offer.
Yeah, that was just a reflection. That was a documentary.
Dude, Megan's like standing offset somewhere, like doing this and staring at him, like crying. Just so proud of you.
So proud of you, baby.
So brave.
But what disappoints me is Howard Stern is sitting there. I'm watching 2 shithead assholes interpret trips with each other through therapeutic lenses. It's like, you're Howard Stern. Tell him he's a dick. That's what you do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I don't
Tell
know
him
how
how screwed up all this shit is.
I gotta be honest. I don't know how Howard Stern fans still watch. I don't know how many of them there are left, but I don't know how they do it.
Right. Is maybe SiriusXM thinks like he's gonna be...
No, I mean, in honesty, he's by far their biggest star. They don't have anybody else, so I'll just ride it out with him, I suppose.
Into the sunset.
Yep.
Instead of begging, but yeah, that's a good way to interpret it.
As a person who's done ayahuasca.
Oh, great. We're going to listen to a 70-year-old woman tell us about her ayahuasca trip. So Howard Stern is now doing a bit. You know what? This is brilliant. I think he's actually torturing his audience to see how much they'll put up with.
Maybe.
So he's like, oh, we've got a vapid, self-centered singer telling us about their ayahuasca trip. Oh, interesting. Let me tell you how that relates to your mother and father. Okay. Hey, Robin, you're 70. Tell us about your drug trip. It's like, wait, are you just like slowly turning up? Remember when the guy in The Princess Bride keeps turning up the torture machine and taking years off his life until he's dead?
It's a terrible movie. That's
what Howard's doing now. He's the 6-fingered man.
This sucks.
There's another way to look at it.
Yeah.
That this was a choice for you. You could live your life that way. Or you could choose another path.
Whoa.
Wow. Thank you, Robin, so much.
Whoa.
This is so much better than Black Jeopardy. I got to tell you, this is so much better than having Beetlejuice in studio. Oh, man.
I feel like we've got The View going on here, basically.
This was a choice for you. You could live your life that way, or you could choose another path.
Whoa.
Hey, so
Whoa, Robin.
It's just too much.
That's his response to both of these two. I've never thought about it that way.
Whoa.
I'm going to go home and meditate on this.
You know what I hate about this fuck?
Everything.
This fuck walks away from each one of these shows thinking, nailed it.
Yes. Oh, he's killing it.
and Megan went too, right? Did she have a heavy experience as well?
Yeah, second night.
Is he
was already-
crying?
Yeah.
Do you recommend this kind of thing, ayahuasca? I mean, it would scare the shit out of me.
I do, and you know what?
Now everyone wait for Machine Gun Kelly, because if he doesn't endorse ayahuasca, well then I ain't doing it.
I sure wouldn't.
think that we owe so much respect to the forest and the earth in general.
How are you not shitting on him, Howard? How?
This little earth child
Dude,
over here.
Yeah. It's fucking Pixie running around on the Howard Stern show. The little sprite.
He's a sprite.
He's a little sprite. He doesn't think we respect the forest enough. Well, here, let me hit you with a fucking tree stump, you dick.
This guy's got to change his name at some point. You can't be Machine Gun Kelly running around as a sprite
He can
woodland fairy.
He can be Tree Branch Kelly.
Rock Moss Kelly.
Yeah. he can be Eternal Light of the Forest Kelly.
Blood of my blood Kelly.
Oh, God. We don't give enough respect to the forest. And, dude, I'm thinking about Jackie Martling. I'm thinking about Artie Lang. I'm thinking about all these people who would jump down somebody's throat
Rip him to shreds.
if they would have come in. You know, Richard and Sal still work on this show. I wonder how many times Sal and Richard have been backstage and they've just been going, oh, fuck.
Or have they went along with Howard in this bullshit?
I don't think they could. I don't think they have the ability.
You didn't think Howard would turn into this either, I'm sure.
I mean, it's a paycheck, I suppose.
It is a paycheck.
Dude, little woodland fairy Kelly over here. Hey, let's hear him out about Mother Forest, shall we? Okay.
I'm listening. I like the
Back.
forest.
Let's here, Fern Gully Kelly. Let's see what he has to
Gully.
say
Oh.
about all of this stuff.
The forest and the earth in general, like there's so many answers, and
I want to build a coal-fired power plant in your backyard now.
Machine Gun Bambi.
Oh, little thumper. Oh,
He's got the whole woodland band going on.
oh, he trips on ayahuasca and goes, burr.
bypass it because we're made to seem like, oh, it's crazy or it's witchcraft or these things that I really, really encourage. If there is anyone out there listening, like there's
Ha! You know what? I don't think he realizes what a brilliant point he just made.
Right. If there's anyone.
Yeah, if there's anyone out there listening, boy, I hope not. That'd be
you
torture.
got your band. Your band's sitting here trying to not listen, but
Yeah.
they're forced.
They're not listening.
And your wife.
I watched this movie. It was called The Last Forest, I believe, and it was about the Yanomami tribe. And I it also was relevant because I just came from South America and just witnessed how much love and care the people there have. Even
Oh, did you hear that? The multimillionaire musician went to South America and felt bad for the little pygmies. So let's listen to him.
I think you should build him a city,
Yeah.
sir.
after all this destruction that we've caused, like all this deforestation, all the cutting down, dude, that we
You live in a mansion and wear designer clothes. Shut the fuck up about the trouble we've caused and the trauma we caused. I fucking hate that. That's like these celebrities who talk about how we're hurting the earth and then fly around in private jets.
That is gross.
Suck my dick. Oh, we've caused so many problems. You know what that is? Your guilt of being really wealthy. But instead of you just going, fuck it, I got tons of money, you go, Oh, but if I feel bad and I feel guilty about, that's why I never feel bad about animals being kept in cages.
Sure.
I never feel bad about the pigs, the chickens, any of that shit. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I'm part of the crime. I'm eating the food. So I ain't going to shit on the guy who keeps the pigs. Because all that is me jerking myself off so I don't look as bad.
Well, it's kind of like watching there's a Kenneth Copeland interview, a brief one, where somebody criticized him for flying around the world in his private jet just for the sake of spreading the Lord's word,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff. And he's like, you know, they're criticizing how much of the giver's money is spent on this private jet and stuff and his big ass SUVs and his suits. And it's like, well, you know, how else am I supposed to get the word out there?
Well, I mean, honestly, though, you know what? And as much as like Kenneth Copeland is one of those religious hustlers,
yeah, he is.
his answer did make sense. He's like, if I flew commercial to Nigeria, it would take me 3 days, like 3 days or whatever.
Yes, it's cheaper, but
Not
I'm just
cheaper, faster.
Oh, well.
He couldn't get from point A to point B as often
regardless,
as he does.
they've all got a reason for it. As long as there's a reason behind all this crazy, the spending antics and stuff.
I respect Kenneth Copeland way more than I do Machine Gun Kelly.
Well, I do too. That wasn't the point I was
1000%.
making.
Poisoned their waters, like their rivers, with mercury, man. Like, we've killed tens of thousands of.
They've eaten each other, fuckface. It's fine.
I think he's
all right?
just sitting there with a blunt in his hand. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's sitting there with weed, bro, and
Weed,
he's
bro.
rubbing his temples. And Howard, I'm tapping Howard on the face and just going, make fun of this asshole.
This guy is sitting here with this weed in his hand, like that's his form of giving respect to the earth because the earth gave him that weed.
Mother Tree Kelly over here.
Mother tree.
Earth Mother Kelly.
These people for gold prospecting,
Yeah.
for land. For
You wear
it's
gold.
not ours, and they still.
You wear jewelry, you fuck.
Lots of
You
it,
have
too.
gold in your nose.
And in your ear. Probably in your dick.
Probably a couple in your dick.
Like,
God.
that is something. That jacket that you're wearing right now was made with stuff from the world, you know, that we dug up or cut down.
We prospected for gold and we killed their tribes. Now nobody's grandfather's grandfather cuts off anyone's hand because they belong to that tribe. They like us down there, boy. I just want to be Ned Beatty from Shooter and yell at Machine Gun Kelly.
I wonder how he'd feel visiting Central America with some of those tribes that would eat him if they stopped by to help.
I want him to go to Sentinel Island and tell him about Mother Earth and how it feels about him.
Dude, just watch the movie The Green Inferno. You'll change your mind.
One village, and it brought stability to the region.
still take us into their homes and they heal us.
They rub mud and sticks in your wounds. They give you infections.
No offense. I don't think
Go to Cedar Sinai when you get sick, you fuck.
there's no saving this guy.
No. Or Howard.
Like everything that's on his body has been made from shit from this earth that has been destroyed. I'm sorry.
This guy doesn't bother me as much. It's the fuck who's allowing him to do this on his show that bothers me because he used to not do this shit.
Oh, but you know why Howard's having him on is suddenly because Machine Gun Kelly's made a bit of a name for himself lately. He has a Hulu special out. He's with Megan Fox. And he's been touring. So suddenly it's just some more clickbait for Howard.
And he takes
Because
ayahuasca.
he needs clickbait instead of just making content like he used to.
Was not around people that looked like me. I was with Peruvian shaman who don't speak English, who are looking at me with
I was with Zamfir, the master of the pan flute. Fuck off.
my tattoos and my bleached hair and my jewelry and
Right.
and being like, I don't judge you. I don't see you for anything other as the soul that needs to be fixed.
Oh,
Do you see
I
what
just got douche chills.
Do you see what a great guy he is? He didn't judge the little pygmy guy in South America.
I felt so loved. Something I never got from my father.
You know what I do when I go to South America and I see the people there and they reach out? I go, don't touch me. This is expensive.
Right. Don't put your dirty hands on this.
Get your dirty mud river hands off me.
He's about to say they rubbed mud all over each other's bodies.
I'm going to do that, even though people that look like me have probably came and ravaged their land. That fucks me up that they would still give us love.
Wow.
And we can't even just let them live.
I mean,
No thanks, Howard. I'll pass.
that was
God damn, that was the gayest thing I think I've
You know
ever
what,
watched in my entire life.
I will give him some credit for this. He didn't bring COVID into it once.
Yeah, you know
That's
what?
all he's been about for the last 2 years.
I guess there's something there.
It's a step forward.
Bumbaclo says, this is even douchier than the Amy Schumer interview. Dude, it's pretty fucking bad.
I don't think much gets worse than Amy Schumer.
Silverwolf says, did April just say The Princess Bride is a terrible movie? You did say
I
that.
haven't seen it for at least 15 years now because the last time I watched it, no, I'd give it about 20 years actually because I watched it when I was a younger, well,
Queer?
I was about 10. I think I watched it, The Rat in the Tree. I had bad dreams about that rat in the tree with the red eyes and the noise it makes.
That was Jabba's lair in Return of the Jedi.
No.
One of my favorite red letter media moments of all time is when they went, Star Wars gave us our first Jewish character, and it was the rat in Jabba's lair.
That was jarring. I'd never thought about it that way.
Robert Rasmussen with a $1.99 says, put Megan on the Sibian and get back to the old days. Exactly. You don't. You have Megan Fox outside your studio and you bring Machine Gun Kelly in. That's your first mistake. Back in the day, he would have like Carmen Electra. A-list actresses come into the studio and go, I'll ride the masturbation machine. And they would. These very famous A-list actresses would sit on the vibrate your clit machine and have an orgasm on the Howard Stern show.
Yes.
And now he wants to talk to Machine Gun Kelly about his ayahuasca trips and how he feels about the little people in South America.
No, today, if you brought Megan Fox on there, it would be no different than Machine Gun Kelly. They're the same person now.
He's mothballed that Sibian for a while.
They drink each other's blood. They do weird shit together all the time.
Bumbaclo says Sal and Richard are the only talented guys left. I agree. I still go back and listen to those phony phone calls regularly. Yeah, Paul, I agree. That vocal fry is fucking hard to get through. Kane B says, if he loves nature so much, why doesn't he just jump in the ocean and breathe it in, like at least 20 feet deep?
Breathe it in.
Oh, he's terrible.
He does look like someone who probably sits at like the edge of the ocean on the beach and just, I just feel so in touch with myself.
Ugh.
He's that guy.
The Flying Minister says how much love and care they have for the forest while they rob you and gut you like a fish for your cell phone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these tribes will not respect anything about you.
Kane V says, wait, keep the freeze frame up. Logan, I can see you, Logan, but I can't see Morph. Where is Morph? Stephanie says, I got it. He and Megan are doing a live-action remake of Fern Gully. Megan's the fairy. He's the logger who shrinks down, falls in love with her, and realizes deforestation is bad. Oh, my God.
Wow.
He really is.
That was deep.
Skeezy says, it's fun to watch Aaron go into crisis mode after looking behind Howard's shock jock mask he's worn his entire career. Look, I have fun doing it on the show. It does hurt. Bumbaclo calls him DMT Gun Kelly.
What do you think happened to Howard? Because like Skeezy just said that he's had a mask on his whole career. I feel like he used to be that person.
There's
Not a
some
mask.
no. There is something to what Skeezy's saying.
Yeah.
Howard has always been a little bit two-faced. He's always
Okay.
Howard, the thing Howard had that he lost his balls, I'm tempted to say what happened to Howard was, and this, look, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so take this with a grain of salt. I think he lost testosterone. I think you just get
Really?
older and you turn into a chick and you don't, like, people shit on Anthony Cumia for going on testosterone shit, but like, Anthony Cumia is in his 60s and people like him because he says outrageous shit. You're not going to do as much of that if you don't have that fucking rage and that
Maybe.
anger. So he takes a little bit of that to make himself a little bit younger. I get that. I understand it. But like Howard, Skeezy makes a great point. Howard always had that need, even in the 80s and 90s when he was peaking. He had that need to be loved. And when Hollywood and the mainstream didn't love him, he went, all right, fuck you, I'll show you. But then he showed them. And then they invited him in the mid-2000s. And when they invited him in, he went, oh, I've been waiting for this invite my whole career. He's always wanted to be Little Howie accepted by Hollywood and the mainstream. The rest of us, though, liked him because he was our anti-mainstream. He was our anti-hero.
That is what people love about him.
Dude, the culture in the late 90s was full of anti-heroes. It was George Carlin. It was how I'd argue, and I could be wrong, maybe because I was a wrestling fan, The three biggest cultural figures at one point in America of like anti-heroes, Howard Stern, George Carlin, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And those three guys were some of the most visible people to young men in the country. And they were the same thing. Fuck the system, fuck my boss, fuck all these people. I'll do whatever the hell I want. You're going to like me anyway. And they did. But for Howie, it was always a means to an end. It was always the road he wanted to take to get that love and respect and admiration. Notice the minute NBC, he shit on NBC after he left there. NBC sucked. It was terrible. Fuck them. He shit on them after Jay Leno tried to take Conan's Tonight Show back after he gave it up. He shit on NBC. The minute NBC called and said, will you be a judge on America's Got Talent? He couldn't have been there fast enough. So he's always wanted to be loved by the machine, but when the machine wouldn't love him back, he raged at it. The problem is the rest of us thought that the raging was because he felt like we did. And then he came and told us years later, oh, no. I was never with you people. I was just trying to get in that club. It's like...
And I feel like that's a lot of people in his shoes.
I know you haven't seen all of the Great White Hype, but have you seen the part where Jeff Goldblum goes into the hot tub with Samuel L. Jackson to confront him on what a dirty crook he is?
Nope.
But then he comes out as his new publicist, and then Jeff Goldblum's whole staff looks at him and goes, "What? Did you sell out?" And he's like, Yeah, I did. And they all leave pissed at him.
Everyone sells out for a paycheck. It's the truth.
Veldrain says, let's go to Carlos first. I got to see. I keep seeing funny lines from the audience on the Machine Gun Kelly thing. E-Rap says his mansion uses more energy than my entire block.
Yes.
Ryan Paradisa says his name is Moon Bear Bark.
He has like a name generator app for just like woodland terms.
Svelte Squirrel.
Frolicking Deer Kelly.
Carlos says, weed, bro. I'm MGK. I hate capitalism, even though I'm very rich, bro. Veldrain says, I like Machine Gun Kelly. What is the link for the GoFundMe for his severe beating? Trident said, my ears bleed when I hear the System of a Down cover on the same show. Oh, did he cover? Oh, no.
I don't know.
He covered. No, that shouldn't be allowed. He covered a System of a Down song? No.
I don't follow him enough.
E-Rap says, actually, that never happened. He just got lost in downtown Rockford. It's interesting. You know what Jesse Lee Peterson had to say about Machine Gun Kelly?
Beta!
Yes.
That's who should be interviewing MGK.
Yes. Let's set it up.
So you went down to South America? Yeah, I did. And what did you do? You did Alaska? I did ayahuasca.
Alaska.
What's that? What's ayahuasca? What's that? That's a drug that expands your mind.
Beta!
Who'd you? Now you did Alaska. Who'd you do Alaska with? My wife.
Beta male!
You can't have wives.
But I found out that South America is full of beautiful little pygmy people that we fucked over for jewels.
What a bitch.
Oh, no. I don't think Jesse Lee Peterson likes him very much.
How about the fact, too, like you were saying, now that the machine loves Howard, it backfired on him and nobody else likes him. But it doesn't matter because he's getting a paycheck.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
none of it matters at the end of the day.
If he comes back and he makes people love him again, or if he keeps sucking dick and being boring, still takes home the same amount of money.
I think that even if he tried to come back and be the way he used to be, there's so many people used to the new Howard that they'd actually lash out at him.
King Kong Dong says, America's Got Talent ruined Howard. You know, everybody's got their different, when did Howard go off the deep end? Mine is when Artie had to leave because of his problems. That's to me when Howard started losing the teeth. Speaking of losing teeth, Gordy says what happened to Howard was he had too many comedian co-hosts. Every day was a Wednesday schmo. Well, damn it, I walked right into that one. Son of a bitch.
Aaron doesn't read things first.
I don't. I just read the shit. Ryan Paradisa says, love you guys. Thanks. Well, hey, if you're new to the show, thank you very, very much. Ross says, April hit me up. You're gonna hit up Ross.
Aaron does hate me as of this morning, so.
Ryan says this is fun. Well, I'm glad you're having a good time, buddy. Subscribe to the channel because again, I think we're like 120 away from 4,000. Dave Dowling says, you got to drive through might be late in Canada to get to Alaska. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Brant Day says, when he got married to Beth is when Howard turned pale. Oh, when was the marriage to Beth? Right around the Sirius XM? Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's not super old yet, I don't think.
A little bit. Citizen M says, Howard's... You know, it's weird to follow Howard for this long, and like Beth was this hot young chick that he married after he got divorced and everything, and now years later, you're sitting there going, oh, shit. Like, Beth's old now. It's just very odd to think
weird. In the last few episodes that I had listened to of Stern, they all revolved around COVID, and him and Robin would sit in their respective homes, Zoom calling each other, griping about Beth and how, God forbid, she wanted to go out and have coffee with her friends because of COVID.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He always hated that his wife wouldn't stay in the house all
Talks
the time.
about how he spends more time with his cat than his wife.
Would you want to stay in the house with that miserable fuck?
No, I don't. I think, if anything, is she just with him for the money at this point?
I mean, listening to it. No, she's with him because he'll run a cat sanctuary with her. Citizen M says Howard Stern went off the rails when Stuttering John left, not Artie. You know what? Fair point. I think it was Artie, but I'm not going to shit on you for saying it was Stuttering John, because I remember the Stuttering John saga of him leaving was very entertaining. But you're right. It definitely lost a little something when Stuttering John left. Polish Debo says Howard lost it when he had an hour-long program on his show of adopting kittens with his girl Beth. That's very true, too. When he started bringing the kitten adoption shit into the show.
That's too soft. I remember that. I actually saw that.
But think about this. You talk about a guy who forgot who his audience was. His audience was cops and construction workers and tow truck drivers and shit like that. You think they want to hear about adopting cats? Suck my ass.
Man, if you want to bring up cats on the show, you talk about cats the way Aaron talks about cats, right? Boiling them for dinner.
Boiling them alive.
Punching them across the street, killing them in all sorts of fancy ways.
Triple N says Stuttering John is pathetic now. Yeah, Stuttering John's gotten pretty bad. He's just kind of living glory days. He's just talking to old Stern people.